How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was the market conditions. Well, you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. How do you stop a bull from charging? Cancel its credit card. Too bad. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN, which ended up doing fairly well considering how much the market pulled back today. It was able to hold up the $6 level, but in this video, I'm going to be talking about some other levels that you want to look out for if we continue to see some weakness inside of the market. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in a bullish case scenario and as well as in a bearish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.03, being down 4.89%. On the low, it tested $6.03. And then on the high, testing $6.66. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 14.828 million shares and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 16.162 million shares. So you can see we were very close to the average volume that we normally have, and we did have a big time pullback inside of the market, which I must say I'm impressed with OCGN that it was able to hold up the $6 level. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 34.33. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And you can see we are hanging on to support here right at the $6 level. On the low, we ended up testing 603. So going into tomorrow, we want to see some price action above this and then retest the highs here at $6.66. If we're able to actually gain some momentum and we have volume coming into the stock, this is where I'll start looking forward for us to make a move going here to the $7 range, which we know will be a psychological area with a lot of resistance. Now, for the bearish case scenario though, if we decide to pull back even further, then of course I could see us reaching all the way over here to around $5.91, and then the next level behind that will be right here around $5.63. So continue to keep an eye on this, but this does provide an opportunity for anyone who believes in the long-term prospects. So let's see how OCGN performs going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for OCGN. So for the dark pool short volume ratio, it is at 48.80%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 2.80 million shares. Scrolling down further for the page, short shares availability is at 1.1 million, updated 30 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.54%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 29th, it was at 61.74, and then for the close of the 30th, which was yesterday, being at 48.80. So it did go down quite a bit, but one thing that is very clear, OCGN does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is part of the reasons why if we end up having a catalyst coming through the play, we could see some strong moves to the upside. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 17.13, and then on the outflow, it's at 24.35. When we take a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, it was 0.51, then on the medium, it was 10.35, and then on the small, it was 6.27. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it is 1.56. On the medium, it is 14.96, 6, and then on the small it was 7.83. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, December the 1st, it being at negative outflow of 1,049.22. Now, when we analyze the numbers even further, the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. No surprises considering how the market conditions were. And then when we take a look at the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the large, we had more selling than we had buying, which potentially could represent institutions. So now when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 9.94%. So no surprises there. We already know there was a lot of volatility inside of the market and there was a lot of selling pressure. But like I was saying in the beginning of the video, OCGN did a fairly decent job holding up that $6 level, to be exact, holding support at $6.03. So now let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, it's definitely going to be an interesting day tomorrow. If we continue to have a pullback inside of the market, that's where I could see the stock visiting those support areas I talked about. Worst case scenario, testing around the 560s, but most preferably you'd want to see it hold up the 580 and as well as the 590 areas. As far as for the bullish case scenario, what we do know for a fact, $7 has become that psychological area. If we do have price action above 7, then I know that could bring some volume into the play. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So this is why a play like this, which you know already, is catalyst driven. We get any type of good news coming through OCGN, we can see a strong move up, but do know it is volatile. So if you're going to be trading off of this play, you can't hesitate to take profits because we've already seen what the history is like when it comes to this stock with its spikes and so on. And another thing that I want to talk about very quickly, I'm quite frustrated. And part of the reasons why I'm frustrated, we know as far as covaxin is concerned, it does a great job against multiple variants of COVID. And knowing that we have this new variant that's coming out bringing scares into the market and also as well getting a lot of attention while we have covaxin still sitting on the back burner as far as being launched in the US and as well as Canada, I'm like, what is going on here? Let's give it a chance. But of course, like I said in my previous video, Bharat Biotech is doing studies to see how well covaxin matches up with the Omicron virus. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. So we're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. But as far as what's going on inside of the market, you have to make a decision here. If you want to be a long-term investor inside of this play or you're looking for a trading opportunity, you want to maximize your entries, doing your homework, doing your due diligence, keeping track of the price action, because at the end of the day, if when this stock does run up, the last thing that you want to do is say, well, you know what, maybe I want to start buying while it's challenging the highs or it's having a real bullish day. The best time to maximize your profits on a particular play when it is down, when it is getting beat up. So at least when you have that jump or that next spike that occurs, you can end up being on the winning side of your trade or even on your investment. So let's see how OCGN performs going into tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.